So one of the things that the book deals with, we're talking about the logistics and trying to get your kid everywhere and trying to pick up and get your job done. But a lot of what the book deals with, I think, is women talking about the guilt, right, that kicks in when you feel like you're not giving enough to work or you're not giving enough to your kids. And I guess I'm curious for you guys, is there one thing in particular that tends to ratchet up the working mom guilt for you?
So I was at another job for 4 years or 5 years, and I was working a lot of evenings. It was a nonprofit, and I was running like networking events. So I felt like I did feel really guilty about not spending, coming home really late at night, not seeing my son, and then I just felt there was like a disconnect, and also there was a conflict with daycare pickup and things like that. So I made a switch, I made a change, and now I have something that's working for us and our family. But I think the guilt was just not being there, and I kind of succumbed to it a little bit, but I feel like I'm in a better place.
So the guilt was literally not having enough time for you, not seeing your kid?
Not seeing him, not helping out with like the bedtime rituals, cooking dinner, or I just felt like I wasn't putting in my work, essentially. I wasn't being like the contributing spouse, I guess, because I feel like we tend to share a lot of the chores, and work and stuff. So.
Yeah. What about for you
I
guys?
sometimes feel more guilty about like the neglect that I'm giving myself, not always my child, because I think she's still pretty young that she doesn't really feel it yet. I'm sure it will, I'll feel it later on, but sometimes I just feel like, gosh, I really do not take care of myself enough. And there was one piece in the book where you look at your commute as your like sacred time, and I'm like, it's really sad that that's so true. That like this commute, which is also stressful because it's late and the tea is broken or this that the commute becomes my like only time alone where I can reflect or read a book or a trashy magazine, and like that's like my only me time. And I feel like, wow, I don't feel quite as like a productive like woman as I did maybe before we had a kid. So